Story 1. The same thing I try to do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Seriously though, feed my hobbies, spend time with friends or my wife, play games, read, binge a series, make content for YouTube. Having hobbies is huge. When you find a new one that you're excited about, it can make nights fly by. Story 2. Just curious because the late-night bar scene with local bands seems to be non-existent. Just curious about the reasons for not going out anymore or what you are doing instead. Story 3. Solitary activities and finding comfort in your own company. Some are too busy starting and dealing with their own families around that age, while the rest of us are too busy dealing with ourselves. Story 4. Time with family or kids is number 1. Sports gambling or watching, $25 allotted per week. Up to $100 for big sports weekends. Occasional microdosing, video games, and partaking in the devil's lettuce. Story 5. I used to play games non-stop and once in a while go out with my girlfriend. Lately, something happened to my brain, and I spend every free moment writing my movie script that I am going to sell for big money. Story 6. Joined a bowling league with 3 of my good buddies every Friday night. It's been amazing for me personally, having something to look forward to, and a lot of the league members are older people who enjoy our energy. Story 7. Go out dancing 1 to 3 nights a week, and attend dance classes 1 to 2 nights. Drink beers and ride bikes with friends, occasionally race bikes. Maybe attend a show. Cook dinners and relax or make cocktails. Story 8. 32. Go out with friends either drinking a bit and seeing a concert or just catching up at a bar with some food. Ideally, or playing video games with my long-distance gaming buddies. Story 9. Have a beer while I rotate between playing guitar, video games, TV shows, and YouTube. YouTube has me figured out. A lot of it feels like wasted time. It's a shame video games aren't as fun as they used to be. Story 10. Drink midnight bike rides, putter around, help my best friend do random housework, watch documentaries if it is later, play darts, bowling, go visit people. Story 11. Let's see. Frequently, I will take dance classes, go to the gym, cook and bake, read, watch football games or go to sports bars for football games, play with my dogs. Less frequently, I will go to dinner with family or friends, go to salsa clubs with my dance friends, go to small craft art galleries, visit local breweries to try new craft beer. Those are the main activities for me, I think. I've been considering learning to play an instrument, but I think that will wait until at least after my dance season ends in November, possibly until after football season when I can really dedicate time to it on Sundays. Story 12. A lot of nights I'm cooking dinner for the next day and maybe playing a little piano. I do go to a fair number of concerts on the weekends and sometimes during the week. Story 13. Video games, anime, YouTube, watch old TV shows on my PC. If I didn't have to spend more time working, my hobbies would include 3D modeling and animation. But I have to do that for my work, so doing it as a hobby would mean hardcore burnout. Story 14. Leave work, stay in my car in the parking lot of my apartment complex for 2 hours, hitting my vape and smoking a cigarette while watching TikTok videos and browsing Reddit. Go into the house, say hello to my pets, pour myself a Crown Royal on the rocks, sit on the couch, watch TV, get up and shower, do some crosswords or word puzzles, watch TV in bed while I start nodding off. Every single day. Story 15. Spend time with friends, go to concerts, take long walks with my headphones, go to restaurants and bars, sometimes watch television and play video games, but I've been doing less of that lately. I'm in my mid-30s. Story 16. 38 female. Friday nights my husband and I go to a club where we are members and have a martini while listening to someone play the piano. Usually dinner afterwards. Home and in bed by 10:30. The perfect night. Story 17. Watch some TV and scroll Reddit while my wife reads on her Kindle. When she goes to bed, I turn the TV off and start reading. I'm usually asleep 5 minutes later. It's going to take me a really long time to get through all the Expanse books. Story 18. It depends on whether it's a weekday or weekend and what's going on in life at that moment, but it usually breaks down to Sunday. I usually try to meet a friend or two for brunch or something similar, then maybe see a family member for dinner, and after that just relax, as I work early most of the week and tend to go to bed early to account for that. Monday to Thursday, I usually stay home at night but might try to do something in the afternoon, depending on what I and others have going on. Maybe play a bit of video games, exercise, watch a TV show or movie, etc. Friday and Saturday, I either hang out with a few close friends over dinner, games, or go out and just have a good time. Also, these nights are usually when I try to get some dating in, very much on the casual side. So overall, pretty basic and boring. Story 19. Take an edible and watch TV alone usually. If I have the money to go out, I will go to a bar or restaurant, but most of my friends don't have the money to go out, and I don't have the money to treat them, and neither do they, so I mostly just hang out alone these days. No one has any money to go anywhere or do anything. Story 2038. Sleep. Dinner with my husband. Dinner parties with my fellow witches. More sleep. Cuddling my dog. I don't know. I live in a big city, but it's exhausting. Story 21. I now play the endless game of getting my kids to go to sleep. Then I fall asleep mid-sentence talking to my wife about the ridiculous or hilarious thing our kids said, or I pass out on the floor of my kids' room. Story 22. This feels so broad to me. When I was 25, I was still going out to bars and partying with friends, but at 40, I'm mostly hanging out with my dog and playing video games, only going out for special occasions. I hang out with friends on occasion when they can find sitters, but my life now is vastly different from 15 years ago. Story 23. I'm 36. Once the chores are done for the night, like laundry, dinner, dishes, and cleaning the kitchen, I make sure my grandma is comfortable for the night. I live with her as her caretaker. Then it's time to sit on the front porch with a beer, some cannabis, and a movie. Story 24. Do you work for a survey company? What a 25-year-old and what a 40-year-old do at night are completely laughably different. I'm 34 and wake up at 4:15 for work. So on work nights, I try to be in bed by 9 and usually scroll my phone till 10. Yes, this is enough sleep for me. On weekends, I have my daughter, so my social life is greatly diminished from what it was. When I do get to go out, it's usually to a concert or dinner party. Story 25. When I was 25 to 30, I was still a child. From 30 to 40, I was still figuring out the whole adult thing. From 40 to 50, I am looking back, embarrassed and amused at the younger me. Story 26. 25 to 30 will be very different from 30 to 35, which will be very different from 35 to 40. That's the beauty of life, my friend. As you get older, your priorities change. You learn more about yourself and are constantly changing your life to fit those things. Story 27. Going to a local pub or restaurant and staying behind after food, or maybe having a random night out at Weatherspoons. As I've gotten older, I'd rather sit in a small, quiet pub with a fire lit, just chatting about random topics. It's much more enjoyable. Story 28. At night, I sleep. I have to leave before 7 most mornings, so I'm not staying up much past 10 if I can help it. Between work and sleep, I might go for a cycle, go climbing, have a picnic, swim by the lake, make a fancier dinner, or have a drink with colleagues. Then I eat, maybe watch a bit of YouTube, probably waste a bit of time on Reddit, and shower. On weekends, I mostly go to bed early because I like to wake up early to go skiing, cycling, or hiking. I don't get the impression we have very similar interests. Story 29. Drink, occasionally play video games, browse Reddit, sometimes more than drink. It's a bit of a mess because I live in an area where there is quite a lot happening. Once, we would be going out all the time, but then my friends moved away, settled down, had kids or whatever, and my personal scene dried up. I went to what used to be my local the other day. Still one of my favorite bars anywhere in the world. But I was nearly 20 years older than the next person there. I don't want to be the weird older guy, so I drank up and left. Honestly, I hate it. The only saving grace is that I remember being 19 in bands and having friends around me, and I hated that too. So in all probability, I'll be here in another 20 years moaning about how good I had it at the age I am now, and how my life at that point sucks. So maybe it's just my nature to complain. It's an oddly comforting thought. Story 30. I drink heavily. That's an all-the-time thing, though. Listen to music, start a fire, hang out by the fire with my cat friends and my boyfriend, and go for walks. Story 31. night walks with the wife and dogs, or a twilight golf round if the weather permits. Crappy weather? Then watch movies or play video games. Story 32. I was just now singing songs with my husband. Now scrolling through Reddit. Generally, we spend our nights talking until we feel sleepy. We cannot afford to go out at night on weekdays because of our child's school schedule. Story 33. In no particular order. Playing with my dogs. Playing video games. Cooking. Dungeons and Dragons, board games, card games, collectibles, or just like regular cards, or other excuses to socialize with friends. Staying up to date on social networking. Running my business. Listening to podcasts. Beer league soccer on Wednesdays. Dates with my significant other. There are other things I wish I did more of, but they never hit the priority at the end of the day. Finally, based on your comment about the bar scene, I would suggest that if you want to socialize, find a hobby and socialize through it. It's a lot easier to plan to go to a bar with a group of 8 guys from your soccer team in the summer. Story 34. I got a puppy, so relaxing or sleep is on her schedule. I like to watch Criminal Minds. I can't really drink beer like I used to, so I settle for Miller Lite. I have old cars I sometimes work on or seldom drive. Story 35. This week, Monday read and did some work. Tuesday gym. Wednesday went to a sports event with my brother. Thursday drinks across the street with someone. Friday Shabbat and hang out with friends. Story 36. I read manga and go to concerts, although those are few and far between compared to my early 20s. I'm 26. I play video games, go on side quests with friends, get obsessed with a hobby and then drop it, and then rinse and repeat. Story 37. I watch movies, build Legos, go on walks with my dog, play games, and try to get back into reading. I'm really lame. I am 34 now, and I basically stopped drinking completely around 25 for no reason other than it triggers migraines for me. After a while, it just became unappealing. I'm also dealing with chronic illness and pain, so I tend to take it pretty easy because if I don't, I typically find myself in a world of misery. Story 38. Game with friends, rock climbing gym, workout, get dinner, by myself or with good company, book club, paint by numbers, in the winter, binge watch favorite movies, and ski. The world is your blank canvas to fill however you feel. Story 39. Build puzzles, working on a 5,000-piece naturescape right now. Do some sports betting for the dopamine hits. Play video games on personal computer or Wii. Build personal computers. Watch shows I never gave a chance in my 20s. Write flash fiction. Clean up endless amounts of toys for my 3 kids under 5. Spend time with my wife. Fall asleep waiting for a bet to hit so I don't get the cash out option. Add items to my kids' Christmas list on Amazon that I never had the opportunity to own myself as a child. Research my sports betting for the next day. Research whatever random thing my wife is asking me to take care of, and take care of myself for health reasons. Story 40. TV series or movies, watching sports, playing video games, or going to the gym. The same things I've always done. I go out 1 to 2 times a month to restaurants, bars, or friends' houses when there's a celebration or something similar. That way, I limit alcohol and bad carbs to just 1 to 2 times a month. Story 41. Make dinner and play video games until about 8, then put the kids to bed. Have a drink if I don't have to work tomorrow. Sit in bed with my wife and talk or watch late-night shows, such as Colbert, on YouTube until we fall asleep around 9:30 or 10. Story 42. Cook a nice meal, watch HBO, and spend time with my boy, usually playing some kind of game or video game. Then, later on in the night, have a mixed drink and a low-dose prescribed clonazepam. Finish off with a nice chapter from a book series we are reading and a couple of funny YouTube videos. Also, play with the 2 cats and give them treats throughout this process. It's a good life if you ask me. I could use some more money, though. When I don't have my boy, I may eat a gummy now and then. Don't tell Santa, though. Story 43. Lego, smoke a joint, YouTube when TV sucks to my taste that night, get drunk, surfing the web like now. Anything that doesn't require standing up all the time because I already did that working all day. Story 44. Enjoy 2 or 3 hours of peace and quiet after putting the kid to sleep and going to sleep myself around 10. I usually watch the recording of my main man Lester Holt and then read. I recently started reading the Three Body Problem trilogy because I cannot wait for season 2 and I need to know what happens. I need to get caught up on this season of industry, but I just do not watch a ton of television. Story 45, 34, female. I game with friends on my personal computer or Nintendo Switch, or with my husband. I play Dungeons and Dragons with friends, read books, and crochet clothes I want to wear. I watch television and go to the cinema. I also work out in the evening a couple of times a week, which I find fun. Story 46. This is a fun question. I've explored over the last few years and figured out what some of my hobbies are. For context, I'm single with no children and live in a mountain town. Gear is a non-exhaustive list. Read, play guitar, play music with friends, go for a walk and take pictures of town at night, the sky, or skip stones on the river. Clean the kitchen before bed. Waking up to a clean kitchen is a really nice way to say I love you to myself. This fall I'm in some after-school activities, but they're after dinner because I'm an adult. Ballet, hockey, beginner woodworking. Some of my friends host a communal dinner every Wednesday. It has become a high point of my week. I usually bake something for this group. Story 47. Play video games with my girlfriend or my friends. Practice DJing. Work more on web design, information technology business, and business plans for other businesses. Watch movies with my girlfriend and our adopted kid.